is Tony Fritz. Deep, number 20 is Ron Springs for the Cowboys, and number 22, Wade Manning. Both rookies. Dallas looking to improve on their kick returns from a year ago for the past few years, as a matter of fact. Fitz Johnson has been doing the job well. He doesn't make mistakes, but he doesn't give you the big return. Tony Fritz, a former Cowboy, will kick it off. He put 4 years in with the Cowboys and set to get the state championship underway. We will call it that. Wade Manning at the 2-yard line, looking for the wedge. Finds an opening and gets out to the 25-yard line. The rookie from Ohio State, hit there by Ted Thompson. And let's meet the Cowboy offense. They're familiar names, of course. Roger Staubach at quarterback. We told you about him. Drew Pearson, a wide receiver. We're going to see a lot of him tonight. He has been troubled with the knee. Also has a bruised calf. You're going to hear a lot about injuries. There is a veteran offensive line. The question mark may be Rayfield Wright at right tackle. He is not rounded out as they anticipated he would this year. Set to go. 1st and 10. The ball at the 25-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Quick toss, and it goes to Preston Pearson, who was in there as a starter because, as we told you, Tony Dorsett has that broken toe. Let's meet the defensive unit. They play a 3-4. Bum Phillips likes it. He thinks he can rush the passer. You'll hear about that later. And there are the linebackers. They're tough. Art Stringer, of course, looks as though he has replaced Steve Kiner at one inside linebacker. Defensively, the secondary, quite frankly, a question mark as far as I'm concerned. But they get a good pass rush, and that will help a defensive back. A gain of 4 for Preston Pearson. 2nd down and 6. The ball short of the 30-yard line. Back, both backs out of the backfield, has the time, looking for the receiver. He doesn't find one. Down he goes, getting back to the line of scrimmage. He picked up a yard. Andy Doris, defensively, number 69, made the stop. One thing I like about Roger, Howard, and of course Fran, he really doesn't throw that ball up for grabs. He didn't have a receiver, so he tucked it away.
Frank, another point on the 3-man line. You don't get a lot of pass rushes, just a straight 3-man line, unless you blitz a linebacker. But it is more difficult to see the pass defense, to see the coverage. You've got 8 men running around in the coverage in the different formations, and that makes it tougher to read for a quarterback.
3rd down, a little less than 6. Drew Pearson out to the left, Tony Hill to the right. Pearson, top of your screen. Where's 88? Tony Hill is 80. Going to Preston Pearson, as they always do on such situations. Out of bounds, but he has the 1st down. Leading receiver from last year for the Cowboys gets the 1st down out just short of the 38-yard line, and we'll watch it from the end zone.
It almost never fails, does it, Fran? And you've explained in every game we've done thus far why Preston Pearson is always seemingly clear.
They're putting him against the linebacker. The defensive backs are doubling out on the 3 wide receivers, and he's a mismatch against the linebacker, and he did it again, and that's why they go to him.
Get him open, because when you have Drew Pearson one side, Tony Hill on the other side, well, he comes out of that backfield, and you got to cover him with what you have left. 1st and 10. Pearson in motion. Robert Newhouse, his 1st attempt. Bounces off one tackle. Gets out over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Up into there by one of the fine linebackers in football, perhaps ever to play this game, Robert Brazil, number 52. He'll take your head off.
Frank, I would think that Dallas would be concerned about their running game. We know Tony Dorsett is the main man in the running game, but he's hurt, and he may not be ready for the opening of the season, and they still got to be able to run the football if Tony Dorsett's not in.
Quick look at Robert Brazil. Deceiving in a way. He's 6'4", a 240-pounder, and he moves like a cat. 2nd down, 7. The ball inside 41-yard line of the Cowboys. We're just underway from Dallas. Little draw play. Preston Pearson finds an opening. Right side, gets out close to a 1st down. I believe he has it just short of the 49-yard line. Upended by Ted Washington, another fine linebacker for the Oilers. And the Cowboys moving the football. Yes, indeed. They have the 1st down.
Frank mentioned a moment ago that the Houston secondary was, quite frankly, suspect in his mind. The interesting thing in perspective about this whole Houston defense, they've got 1 first-round draft choice on that defensive unit. But, Fran, have you noticed all of the others way down? The very thing we discussed last week in Seattle.
1st and 10, the ball at the 48-yard line. Robert Newhouse gets the ball, looks for an opening, doesn't find it, gets to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And to be even more specific, Frank, in that secondary that you find suspect, there are, count them, 1, 2, 3 free agents as you look at number 44, a little butterball fullback who fits the Landry mold so well.
One of them, Howard, will be watching, I know the Oiler fans will, is Vernon Perry. Perry. He was an All-Pro up in Canada a year ago. Played for Montreal. 6'2", 211 tight safety man. Where's number 32? We'll be pointing him out tonight. 2nd and 9. The ball short at midfield. Staubach again with both backs in the pattern. He's going deep. Tony Hill's down there, but he throws it short. They did not. Yeah, they did. They picked it up. There's no question that J.C. Wilson was pushed off by Tony Hill. I didn't think they were going to call it, Fran, but they got it.
I think you're absolutely right,
No
Frank,
question.
because Tony Hill did push off the defensive back. J.C. Wilson, good alert call by the official.
Right. Very thing as we look at it in isolation that we discussed with Chief of Umpires Art McNally today in a long meeting that we had with him on the new rules. Now watch this. The ball was underthrown. He took Wilson by the neck, threw him aside, then pushed him off, carried the ball right in.
Jeffrey Brandeis.
Pass interference number 80.
Fairly obvious. Ben Dryth with a little electronic trouble there with his radio. There's Tony Hill.
Significant thing there, Frank, that was Tony Hill was man on man with no underneath help of linebackers or defensive safety men. And that's a tough job for J.C. Wilson to cover Tony Hill man on man or anybody else too.
Hey, he was covering him well. I think he just was a little frightened early in the game. He was in good position. 2nd down and 10. 10-yard assessment on that penalty. Ball now inside the 40. Staubach out of the shotgun. Draws a crowd, and down he goes under it. Clear back at the 28-yard line.
Now that makes a point right there on that sack. A point that Sir Francis has been making to you folks ever since he joined our team. To wit, that you don't usually get as good a pass rush with the 34 defense, the 3-man line, as we look at it again.
Watch Kennard, number 71. He is starting a nose guard in place of Curly Culp, who ordinarily is there. But
watch on the bottom of your screen. They also sent a linebacker in, and that got the pressure that created the sack.
All right.
They didn't send 3 people. They sent 4 in that situation.
The point I was making, though, Fran, is Bum Phillips disagrees with you. He points out that in passing situations, Pittsburgh reverts to a 3-man line.
Dallas calls timeout. They didn't like what they saw, the setup, so we'll be returning after this message. As he awaits his first offensive set of the night. He's had to play much of the preseason because of the arm injury we've already spoken of with Dan Pastorini. Meanwhile, down in the field, 3rd down and $500,000. 29 to be specific. The ball inside the 30-yard line. Staubach out of the shotgun. Keeps the back end for added time. Going over the middle and is picked off by Vernon Perry, the young man we told you about, who came as a free agent after being an All-Pro with the Montreal Alouettes, and he gets Houston good field position. He's down to the 38-yard line. Look again.
All right, Rogers back in the pocket. It's only a 3-man rush. No linebackers coming. As you see, he's got all the time in the world, Howard. Only problem, they got 8 men in the secondary, and he can't pick a receiver out.
And good coverage on the part of Vernon Perry. The ball underthrown by Staubach. But good field position. You just joined us. It's the Houston Oilers. They have possession of the ball. Their first time against the Dallas Cowboys. No scores. 10:39 remaining in the first quarterback. Earl Campbell, 34, of course, but the toss goes to Rob Carpenter, number 26. Flag is down. You saw it. Carpenter turns the corner, gets good yardage. He has a first down. Keep in mind the flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Rob Carpenter in there tonight. Tim Wilson ordinarily would be in there with Earl Campbell, but he has a back muscle problem.
A couple of years ago, Rob Carpenter came in. Let's listen. Well, I don't know where it was. But anyway, Carpenter came in and became all-rookie. It was around mid-season. And the kid was terrific. Last year, he started off the same way. He was just terrific. So quick off the mark, much like Benny Malone. And look at that as you look the Houston Oilers offensive line. You just saw the backfield a moment ago.
Number 86.
That was the call, the penalty against Houston. The point is, Carpenter is back. He got racked up the second half last year. They missed him terribly. He's a tremendous runner, quick off the mark, and excellent receiver. Fine back.
Penalty against Mike Barber, a costly one. First down and 20. Wide receivers, Eddie Foster, 89, Burrow, 00, out to the left, both of them, and Carpenter gets the call again. Trying to catch Dallas, anticipating the pass. Little trap up the middle, nothing happened. Vernon Perry who made that interception, played his college football with Robert Brazil at Jackson State. Cowboy defense, make no question about it. Even with the two retired football players over on the left side, Jethro Pugh and Too-Tall Jones, it's a good one. Questions at the corner, both with Denny Barnes, Aaron Kyle. We'll talk about that later. As we look at a second and 15. Right in there to Eddie Foster. Gifford Nielsen put it right into a crowd, complete. They're close to a first down. I believe they're just a little short. Denny Barnes was covering.
Little bit of heat down there. Let's watch it again, Francis. We watched Gifford Nielsen against the Jets last week, and he impressed.
He did impress. Watch Randy White put the heat on. He came through two blockers, almost got to the quarterback. Gifford Nielsen made a good throw. Important for his first throw to be a good one, and that was right on the numbers.
Oh, he pumped that in there. Yard short of a first down, maybe less than a yard. Ball inside the 29-yard line. Gifford leaves it there. Indications are that Houston has recovered. And we are going to have a fourth down, I believe. Gifford Nielsen fell on the football. But at the 30-yard line, we'll have a fourth down and 2. And that should produce the field goal attempt of Tony Fritsch.
Frank, Gifford Nielsen fumbled the snap from center. Now, the old center always gets blamed for that, but many times the quarterback pulls out of there too early. I don't know what happened there. Only those two people know, but it cost them an opportunity to get a first down and set up the field goal.
47-yard attempt by the former Cowboy. Gifford Nielsen is the holder. Long enough. And is good enough. Tony Fritsch, who was third in the NFL in accuracy last year with 14 of 18, hits from 47 yards out. The Houston Oilers lead it 3-0. We'll be back. Degrees. A few of the big boys will lose some pounds tonight. 9:20 remaining in the first quarter. The man who will kick off now for Houston, Tony Fritsch, hit from 47 yards out, 3-0 over the Dallas Cowboys here in the first quarter. Wade Manning at the 2-yard line, looking again for the wedge in the middle, and is pounded down at the 22-yard line. Hustling down there, Ted Thompson. But Dallas will get another opportunity. Reminding you that Tony Dorsett with the broken toe. Tom does not anticipate that he will have him for the opener against the St. Louis Cardinals September the 2nd. He does not know when he'll get Danny White, the backup quarterback, back, but he feels that he will be punting by St. Louis time. It's a broken thumb in the right hand, and that's where he takes the ball from the center. It would be very painful. First and 10, Dallas. Preston Pearson, Robert Newhouse in front, nowhere to go. Down he goes, Big Ted Washington. Outside linebacker, number 59, in there to dump Preston Pearson for a loss. He marked just short of the 20-yard line, a loss of almost 3 yards. Call it second down and 13.
One might call a Houston secondary suspect, though that has to be proved out during the season. One can hardly call that linebacking corps suspect, Frank. Not with Brazil, Bingham, Washington approved commodity, and now Stringer taking over from Kiner.
They are solid. Second and 13. Tony Hill, Preston Pearson, Drew Pearson now. This is Drew Pearson in motion. Screen, and it goes to Preston Pearson. He gets one block in front, but Greg Stemrick is there to take him out of bounds after a gain of about 2-3 yards. There's Tony Dorsett on the sidelines. Hate to lose that from your offense. Over 1,300 yards. He did it back-to-back, as a matter of fact.
Can't drop mirrors on your toe.
Frank, I love Bum Phillips. I think he's one of the great coaches in the world. But I will point out to Howard here.
He had 5 on the line.
They now have 4 defensive linemen on the line in a pass situation. They had it on second down. And they've got a very good rookie on the defensive line, number 75, Jesse Baker. And they think he could be an excellent pass rusher for them. Let's watch.
Third and 10. Time out of the shotgun, and Roger fired it in there. It was right in the arms of his intended receiver. That course, coming out of the backfield was Preston Pearson, or rather Ron Springs.
Frank, a point here. Greg Stemrick is really a hitter in the secondary, number 27. He's the one that made the big hit on Ron Springs that time. Last year, he forced 4 fumbles with hits just like you saw right there after the receiver caught the ball. That time, he prevented the catch at all.
Well, he gave the rookie Ron Springs a shot. The ball came loose, and Dallas must punt. That's Rich Ellender, 9th round draft pick out of McNeese State, and Dwayne Carroll will punt. Ordinarily, that would have been Danny White, as I told you. He's not going to be available until the start of the season. Ellender with a pretty classy move gets to the 47-yard line on a 34-yard punt by Dwayne Carroll. I spoke of the Cowboys opening Howard against St. Louis. Houston goes against Washington. We have one heck of an opening week.
We sure do. The Pittsburgh Steelers against the New England Patriots. New England obviously loaded with personnel, but it's still a puzzlement as to the departure of Leon Gray. We'll have more on that later. And of course, Thursday night will be the Rams against the Bronx, September 6th.
Earl Campbell on his first carry gets a yard as the defense closes down. He has led everything last year as a rookie, 1,450 yards. As a matter of fact, in this game a year ago, Gifford Nielsen was the quarterback. Earl Campbell, the rookie. Gifford Nielsen, I think, threw the ball 6 or 7 times, and Earl Campbell really impressed the Cowboys. He gained over 150 yards rushing in that game.
That's enough to impress you. Let's see what they do running against the flat. Well, they're passing now.
2nd and 8. Looks like Mike Barber. Yes, it is. And Barber gets to the 40-yard line. Houston first down. And Mike Barber coming off a super year last year.
Frank, you can talk about the great tight ends in football, which we all do. I don't think there's any greater than number 86, Mike Barber, and he had a wonderful year last year. Not only is he playing, he's an inspirational leader for this football team. He's a very emotional type player. You might remember in the Pittsburgh playoff game last year when he took what he thought was an unfair shot, had to leave the game because of injury. He is an emotional player.
The 1st and 10 is at the 40-yard line. 6:55 remaining in the first quarter. 3-0 Houston, and Rob Carpenter looking for a little opening, finds nothing as Tom Henderson drifted out. And Carpenter went down at the line of scrimmage. Tom Henderson's another injured Cowboy. He's playing tonight because he feels he has to. He has a torn muscle in the stomach, Howard.
Yes, and we asked him about it, and he said it would be better if I got more money.
Howard,
that's Hollywood Henderson.
That's exactly what he said.
In the meantime, I want to talk about Mike Barber in just a minute.
On 2nd down and 10. Wide receivers slip to the right. Campbell gets the call, and Campbell gets to the 35-yard line, just about his average last year when he averaged 4.8 a carry. He's a piece of work.
Well, here's Earl Campbell. If you can call anybody the franchise in the NFL, this is the man to do it. He turned this franchise on. He turned the city of Houston on. And there you see him again going for yards.
And he certainly, as Frank has pointed out often, was a major factor in the emergence of Dan Pastorini.
3rd and 5. Eddie Foster split to the right. Number 89, Ken Burrow. To the left, and here comes Harvey Martin doing his thing. He did it 16 times a year ago, was unhappy. He did it 23 times the year before that. Hilson goes down back at the 44-yard line, and Harvey Martin not only made the sack, I think he's got him out of field goal position, Fran.
This is no contest. Morris Townsend is going to get windburn from the draft that Harvey Martin had to coming by him. I'm telling you, he didn't even touch him. Harvey Martin must be back.
He has just met Harvey Martin, Mr. Nielsen.
For Oiler fans, however, Leon Gray will be in that spot probably during the season, and Towns will be at guard. Cliff Parsley to punt. Wade Manning is deep for the Cowboys. Parsley looking for the corner, doesn't get it, as he did so many times last year. Into the end zone, touchback. So we have 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Houston has a 3-0 lead. Tony Fritz, 47-yard field goal, will be back. See the ad for milk driving out here.
He's the one who should have
drink beautiful milk.
He's the one who should have turned fighter.
That's not all wrong.
One of the greats. Dallas 1st and 10. The ball at their own 20-yard line. Following that touchback, they trail 3-0. Starback, Preston Pearson, Robert Newhouse. Drew Pearson Tony Hill, wide receivers. Newhouse doesn't find the hole, spins to the outside, gets a yard. That's it. Closed down by Andy Doris there.
This is our third game. It's very young in this contest where we've had the Cowboys. And they are dragging on offense. No question about it, without Dorsett. Now, when you have this kind of problem, the burden is on the quarterback to pick the team up, isn't it, Francis?
It really is, Howard. The thing, you don't have Dorsett, but you got 10 other starters on offense, and that one loss should not knock your offense down completely. Roger has to take the responsibility to get them going.
Second down, 9. Draw play, Preston Pearson. Right this one off. Down he goes. First man there was Greg Bingham, one of the other linebackers showing his play.
He is a beauty, and once he gets his fingers on you, he doesn't let go, as you just saw there. Greg Bingham, the veteran linebacker of this team. Though Washington could be characterized as such. There's the Bum Phillips. How they love him. He's different.
I started to say the thing about Bingham, Howard. He's always there. He has, I think he's came up in '73, and he's never missed a game since then.
That's right. Extremely durable.
3rd and 9 out of the shotgun. Roger. Look out, Roger, and down you go.
Well, I'll tell you who chased him down. That was Jesse Baker, a rookie. And I'm telling you, he ran the 100-yard dash in high school when he was from Conyers, Georgia. He's a 4.7 40 man, which is fast.
Which is fast for a defensive end. Baker and Mike Stensrud were both second-round draft choices.
Watch Baker from the bottom of the screen, and Roger is not slow, as you all know, and Baker made him look like he was standing still.
That's Baker. They intend to keep 8 or 9 rookies this year. The Oilers do. They're very happy with their rookie crop. And the 2 top ones, the 2 we just mentioned. Baker made the play, and Mike Stensrud of Iowa State. He's a mountain of a man.
Ellender standing at his 42. Houston should get good field position. Good kick by Dwayne Carroll. Beauty. Ellender all the way back to his own 30-yard line. He had to go back almost 15 yards, and they dump him quick. It's Tom Henderson down there at the 25-yard line. So Dallas on a tremendous kick. A 50 yards by Dwayne Carroll gets out of trouble. Timeout. We'll be back. Howard Cosell and Fran Tarkenton. Don Meredith, of course, will be with us for our season's opener. That up in New England on Monday night, Labor Day Monday night. And then Fran will be back with us in Denver on Thursday night. Denver against Los Angeles. 2:50 remaining in the first quarter. Houston with the 3-0 lead. You saw the action. Morris Towns.
Well, Morris
The
Towns,
left tackle, I think, pulled up and drew the Cowboys off.
well, as y'all remember, Morris Towns is the one that Harvey Martin blew by. He's going to try to get the jump on Harvey Martin here. Watch number 76 at the bottom of your screen, and he's trying to get a little head start on Harvey this time.
Yeah, but Frank
called him for offside.
Frank made a key point. Leon Gray is not here yet, the recently acquired one from New England. He'll be playing in that spot. And he, together with Hanna, were of a cut with Upshaw and Shell of Oakland. Gray is a simply great offensive tackle, period.
Loss of 5. First down, 15. And look at Campbell. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he still got 3.5, 4 yards out of it. And Harvey Martin was all over him. Dan Pastorini looking on.
He's a movie star, I swear.
He ought to get out of this game. He's too pretty to be a quarterback. He is discouraged. He's now arrived as a quarterback. He knows he's got a great team. He wants to play, and he's worried about his arm.
Those arms are such tricky things. We ought to get into how you went to a kinesiologist to revive yours. A fellow named Mike Marshall.
Second down, 12. Campbell again. Oh, is he quick? Look at this. Aaron Kyle is there. He throws him aside. And Benny Barnes makes the save, and a flag goes down.
I want to tell you folks something. Frank was right on that call. He just threw Aaron Kyle aside. And if Aaron Kyle has one great capacity, it's as a one-on-one tackler.
And to add insult to injury, Howard, it was a face mask call when they finally got him down. I want you to watch this. Here's Earl Campbell coming off the left side. Simple play. Any other back, he gets tackled for a 3-yard gain. It's almost like he's playing in another league. That he shouldn't. He's too big for these guys. Obviously he isn't, but he did pretty well. Here he comes again right at us. This is a look at what you would have to tackle. There's Aaron Kyle trying to make a hit. Hardly stuns him at all. There's the face mask right there. Good shot. Good shot.
One thing any little football player could take note of, that Earl Campbell saw Kyle coming. You saw him switch the ball, so it gave him that free hand. Right. 1st and 10.
Oh, did he push Kyle aside?
Kenny King is in there now, giving Campbell a rest. He gets the call, the rookie from the University of Oklahoma. And he gets inside the 25 to about the 23, picking up 4 yards, 2nd down and 6.
Frank, Kenny King from Oklahoma is an interesting story. He said that if he hadn't played in the backfield with the Heisman Trophy winner Billy Sims, he would have won the Heisman Trophy. I'm not so sure he's not right.
There he is, 5'11", 203-pounder.
He was their 3rd round draft choice.
Good strong blocker, they say. 2nd and 6. Houston with the 3-0 lead. 1:32 remaining in the 1st quarter. Kenny King drops the football. It's recovered by Houston. Mike Barber, who is a hustling football player.
He really
already characterized him as that, and he is indeed.
As you look at King isolated, watch him. He has control of the football now. Doesn't know where to go, and as he started...
There goes the Heisman.
Yes, exactly. But Billy Sims committed his share, too, of fumbles.
He did. It's hard to gain yards when you start dancing there in the backfield.
Houston, 3rd and 12. Gifford Nielsen. Man open over the middle. It's Billy White Shoes Johnson. Billy White Shoes Johnson coming into the game. He's playing with a hamstring. We know that. Knee surgery last year. Missed almost all of the season. Gets a 1st down inside the 10-yard line of the Cowboys.
2 things. When healthy, when people like Johnson and Castor and Renfro are in there, you get some idea, together with a tight end like Barber, of the great diversification of receivers. There's Campbell back in, number 34. 2, Gifford Nielsen is running this ball club more and more confidently, based upon what we saw against the Jets a week ago and now tonight.
Campbell inside the 10. That's not a bad place to have him either. Oh, and that was a good open field tackle. Randy Hughes is playing with 13 stitches in his forehead as a result of a lamp falling on his head in training camp yesterday morning.
This is a team with new ways to get hurt as we look at Earl Campbell. Dallas, I mean.
There's no doubt who they're going to give the ball to inside the 10-yard line. Big number 34. He almost broke that tackle. Randy Hughes stayed with him. He made a nice play.
Randy got hurt with a lamp falling on him. Dorset with a mirror falling on him. So they found new ways to become disabled. We'll be back in a moment.
But they got him coming off a senior year in which he only played 3 football games. But in those 3 football games as a senior, Brigham Young, he threw 13 touchdowns and averaged over 300 yards each of those 3 games. So he was a bargain.
Here's the advantage, Frank, of having an Earl Campbell. Ordinarily, you would have to throw the ball in this situation on the 8-yard line, 2nd and 8. With Earl Campbell, you can give it to him, and he can get you the 8 yards.
It's the same as throwing it.
Takes a deep 7 yards. He likes to look it over when he gets the ball, but this is Rob Carpenter at the moment. Carpenter down close to the 5-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and goal to go at the 5. Rob Carpenter missed 5 games last year with a knee problem as we look at the 1st quarter statistics. Totally Houston.
They brought in 2 big tight ends. They brought in big Conrad Rucker, who's only 6'3", 260 pounds, to go with Mike Barber.
Another of those Houston free agent types.
Play action. That'll hold linebackers when the play action is Earl Campbell, and Gifford Nielsen overthrows Mike Barber. He had him too, friend.
He did. He was wide open.
All right, what they were trying to do, they faked off to the right, and Barber just was sneaking across through the linebackers to the left. He did have him open. He just threw the ball high.
Mike Barber came up hard. Remember, we saw him here as a rookie. He came up a 2nd-round draft pick. He looked great as a rookie. Then he missed that entire season with a problem. Came back 77, and last year really turned into an all-pro. Here's Tony Fritsch again.
He's in the mold very quickly of guys like Russ Francis and Dave Casper. Should he come back? We have a momentary halt here. And that's the point I wanted to make when Francis was talking about Barber as an inspirational ball player before. In this day of professional football, you want a tight end who can run. The action often begins with the catch of the football as you look at the back of Earl Campbell. And that's the trademark of guys like Casper and Francis, and now of Barber, too. In fact, any one of these these men could probably be efficient at fullback. We've often talked about the juxtaposition from tight end to fullback. The Giants are trying that now with a young man named Emery Moorhead. And indeed, Hewitt Dixon in the old days at Oakland was a perfect example. Always Al Davis, Fran, has wanted to make a fullback of Raymond Chester, but with Casper gone, he can't undertake that experiment now at this late date.
Points well taken, Howard. I think an interesting thing here, Frank, they've been down in scoring position twice. They're coming away with 2 field goals. That's not good. One little drive by Dallas, touchdown, they go up. This has got to be frustrating to have 2 shots like they had and come up with a possible 6 points is all.
22-yard attempt. He hit earlier. Did Tony Fritz on a 47-yard attempt. This a little half a 9-iron, and Houston has extended their lead to 6-0. But I think you've called it, Fran. When you get those kind of breaks, you should get more points. We'll be back. John Schumacher, 12th round draft pick out of USC, handling the kickoff duties. He's a little erratic, but when he hits it, he really bombs it. He's a big one. Ron Springs the deep. He is 20. 22 is Wade Manning. Schumacher busted to the 5-yard line. It'll be taken by Wade Manning, the free agent out of Ohio State. Flag is down. Manning finds running room to the outside. Now another flag goes down as Manning steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
I'm sure, Frank, that this penalty is because of the new rule we have. As we know, on kickoff returns, you cannot block below the waist. You have to block above the waist. This has been in effect in college the last few years. They just put it into pro football this year. It is a good rule, and the people have really done very well with it so far.
Yes, they've been adjusting very well, just as they did in the colleges. But you will find it called occasionally, and this is...
Offensive holding, number 84 on a run back.
Sorry about that, Frank.
No, it's still the same thing, because that will cause holding penalties because they cannot cut below the waist.
Exactly right.
Okay.
And they're standing up, and they will have to hold sometimes. And that is, again, the effect of the new penalty rule that's in. We'll see holding on kickoffs, which we haven't seen before.
Okay.
1st and 10. Ball at the 17-yard line. Cowboys down by 6 points. It's been all Houston. Cowboys unable to generate any offense. This is Todd Christensen out of Brigham Young. Came up a year ago. Missed all the season with an injury.
Now they're putting in the big fullback. Notice in the history of Landry teams, there rarely is the big, strong blocking fullback. You'll find Dallas using trap and finesse blocking, right?
They're not an overpowering offensive football team, and they really need...
That's why it's up to the quarterback, as you said, to pick them up when Dorsett is out.
They also need somebody out of that backfield to come up and make a big run for him, a la Earl Campbell. I'm not sure somebody can out of that group.
2nd down and 8. The ball just short of the 20-yard line. Offensive line changes for the Cowboys. We'll get them to you in a moment. This is Alois Blackwell, and Alois Blackwell goes down. He's drilled there by Art Stringer, the gentleman we've been talking to you about, who is maybe going to put Steve Kiner on the bench.
It certainly looks that
ball club. He's gained a lot of weight and a lot of strength, and he's good against the run, and that's been his problem.
There's Gifford Nielsen. And Frank, we saw Art Stringer really coming a year ago in those Monday night games against Pittsburgh and Miami. He was all over the field. That's when Coach Phillips began to realize he had a beauty there. Now watch Mike Stensrud, too, number 67, now in there.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down 9. Staubach out of the shotgun. Had a free man moving on him. Incomplete. The attempt to Todd Christensen, but nobody picked up Andy Doris. You don't see that very often. We will point out that Rayfield Wright is no longer in their right tackle. Instead, it's number 72, Ernie Rogers. And
there's Mike Barber, Frank.
Roger almost paid for that shift in the offensive line. Doris coming in freewheeling. 4th down.
They got Doris from New Orleans.
By waivers, he was out of work for about 2 weeks last year. They picked him up. Didn't even have to pay the $100 waiver price. Put on 25 pounds in an off-season conditioning program. They said he wasn't strong enough, and now he's a starting member of their defensive front 3.
Ellender awaiting the punt of Dwayne Carroll at his own 40-yard line. Another beauty by Carroll. And Carroll tacks on yardage. 52-yard punt, and he gets it back out to the 42-yard line. Hustling down there as he always does. Guy Brown, number 59 for Dallas, and we'll be back.
Purely and simply, one of professional football's greatest coaches and an inspiring man in his way. We'll have a reasonably in-depth talk with him at halftime. We think you'll find it interesting.
1st and 10. Ball at the 41-yard line. Houston possession. They lead 6-0. Earl Campbell gets the call. All bottled up on the outside, so he turns it to the inside and gets 3 yards out of it. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Guy Brown was there, number 59, along with Larry Cole, number 63.
Fran, you saw Earl did not see a hole. You saw him look around, look to slide off. Did you see that?
I did. Well, he'll do that, and he'll slide around, and he'll finally just run over somebody. Interesting thing, Wade Manning, rookie, is the cornerback for Dallas now. It'll be interesting to see if Nielsen knows enough to go after Wade Manning. He hasn't played that position before.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 44. Campbell gets the call. Carries a few Cowboys for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4. The ball at the 42-yard line.
But you must admit, Francis, as you pointed out before, and Frank agreed with you, when you've got a Campbell, the temptation is not to throw the football, no matter.
Well,
you know, same as a pass.
We mentioned that the backup quarterback is Guido Merkins, who came up the softball field a year ago. And whether he could play or not, all he's got to be able to do is be able to pitch the ball to Campbell or be able to hand it to him, and I'm sure Guido could do a job.
3rd down, 4. Campbell comes out. The 3rd wide receiver, that's Billy Johnson, comes in. Quick call, the draw play, and he goes to Rob Carpenter. Fools no one, and particularly does not fool Randy White.
No.
Interesting thing there, Frank. You know, Dallas has never been known as a heavy blitzing team in years past, but you're going to see a safety blitz here. Number 43, Cliff Harris has a clean shot at him. He does slow him down. Randy White is going to finish him off.
Wade Manning drops deep for Dallas on 4th down. Cliff Parsley is there. Just under 39-yard average for Parsley a year ago, but he is very good kicking the ball out of bounds inside the 20. However, now he'll have the opportunity to kick away. Parsley. It doesn't turn over. Manning times it out at the 17 and busted out over the 30-yard line. Good return, a dangerous return by...
I'll tell you.
All right, there's Wade Manning. How could he have gone to Ohio State, Howard, for 4 years, only played baseball, and get by where Woody Hayes didn't see him and didn't play
I can't answer that as you look at Wade, but I'll tell you this. That was a dangerous play by Wade. What hands he had to hold it. I haven't seen a catch like that coming in on the football since little Albie Booth played for Yale in the 30s. That's what he used to do. Stay back, suddenly dart in, pick the ball off his shoe tops with great hands, and often slither away for a touchdown. Frank?
Cowboys ball, 32-yard line, 1st and 10. Alois Blackwell, number 24, second-year man out of Houston, in there now with Robert Houston, Robert Newhouse brother, and this is Blackwell, right side, maybe a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Frank, it's interesting here. Dallas, they're playing many running backs. They would like to find one of those running backs who's going to say, I'm going to be the man while Dorsett's down and give you some running. They're all pretty good football players, but you don't win with just pretty good football players. You got to have some great ones, and you need a great running back. And maybe they've got it in that group, but nobody has shown it yet.
Change for Houston. Houston fans will recognize the name, as all pro fans will. Curly Culp is in there now, nose guard, number 78, one of the all-timers. 2nd down, call it 7, the ball at the 35-yard line. Roger, play action fake. He draws the crowd, and Billy Joe does not hold on. Flag is down, line of scrimmage.
Threw it behind him, really, had a turn.
A lot of pressure that time, and a blitz by Stringer. Looked like about half the team was in there.
Robert Brazil, the principal blitzer, and he indicated the penalty is going to go against Dallas. There's Robert, number 52.
Curly Culp in there. There's young Baker, the man that Fran has singled out. Quickly, some baseball scores while we're sorting this out.
Shift, 2 men moving at the same time. Decline the penalty. That's 3rd down.
Chicago beat San Diego, the Reds beating the Mets, and Montreal defeated Atlanta. Every game big for Montreal. The Dodgers beating Pittsburgh. That's why San Francisco leading the Cards. The Phils and Houston tied. A repeat on the earlier National League scores we showed you. Montreal beating Atlanta 2-1. They can cut the margin to 2 against Pittsburgh if the Bucks lose.
Penalty decline, 3rd down and 7. Strawback wide open is Drew Pearson, and it's thrown a little softly, and the interception is made by Greg Stemrick. Stemrake across midfield on the return. And I don't know, Fran, we'll look on it in replay, but we saw Roger do the same thing in Seattle.
Well, I saw it. You watch Greg Stemrake here. Rogers back in the pocket. You're going to see Greg Stemrake playing the short zone. He's up close. He's going to read Rogers' eyes and run back to cover the receiver deeper, which is not his responsibility. He made an absolutely great play.
That's right, and it's his second one tonight. As you pointed out, he's a big hitter, and we saw him hit before, and the ball jawed out of the receiver's hands. More scores quickly. The rampaging Red Sox won 8-2. Oakland again beat Cleveland. Baltimore leading Kansas City, which has been red hot.
1st and 10. Gifford Nielsen going deep. Double O Burrow is there. He used and you can almost count on Kenny Burrow catching that kind of a pass. He's been doing it for so many years. Let's pick him up. He has got some kind of stride.
Well, Frank, Houston has coaches up here too. They put Kenny Burrow man-on-man against the rookie Wade Manning, and he does go by him. That's an impossible task in a man-on-man situation for anybody. The rookie doesn't do badly. If the ball is out in front of him, he's got a touchdown. Almost a good play by Double O, but not quite there.
You called for that call a series or so back. And it was an obvious call. Other scores. Yanks, Twins tied. Texas trying to break out of its terrible slump, leading Milwaukee 5-1. Toronto, California, later start.
2nd and 10, 49-yard line. Houston with the football in Dallas territory. Bob Carpenter. And he's hit there by Cliff Harris at the 45-yard line. A gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Burrow, incidentally, as you all know, a receiver who can do it all. There's young Stemrake. What a game he's having tonight. And a reminder, 3 of those secondary, whom we labeled as perhaps suspect going into this season, past free agents. Somehow, Bum Phillips gets them together, and they work.
Earl Campbell comes out, passing offense, specialty team for Houston. Apparently, Billy Johnson comes in, the extra wide receiver. Johnson wearing 84. Split out to the left. Remaining back, 26, Rob Carpenter. For Nielsen, forced out of the pocket, gets the ball away. This could be complete. He was juggling it, but he was hit by the defender as he went out of bounds. The crowd's not going to like it, but I think it's a good call as Eddie Foster gets the first down.
I agree with you, and Foster is showing well tonight.
He is. He runs the pattern. Nielsen is scrambling during this part. He did an excellent job of scrambling. Foster again on the rookie Manning. He catches the ball under pressure. He was in. And we'll see it again, and I believe that you will see the referee made a good call. I think he's in.
He is in.
He is
right
in.
There. No question about it.
Gifford Nielsen showed something then you want to see your quarterback have. He was blitzed by 2 linebackers. One of them was not picked up. He evaded the linebacker, made the play. Good 3rd down completion and kept the drive going.
1st and 10. The ball now at the 38-yard line. Houston 6-0 lead. 7:50, and the clock is moving remaining the first half. And again, I believe it was John Schumacher who came off sides at the left guard. It should go against Houston, drawing Dallas off. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations all along the line to identify themselves.
In Houston, Channel 13, KTRK TV.
There it is, procedure call against John Schumacher.
Frank, interesting thing that Houston's doing in passing situations. They're taking out Campbell. They're only leaving 1 running back. They're staying with 1 tight end and 3 wide receivers. They're putting Billy Johnson in. That puts a lot of heat on a defensive football team.
Watch 84, white shoes.
Another quick count, 1st and 15. It goes to Eddie Foster, complete inside the 30, and he's breaking tackles. He's almost back with enough yardage for a first down, about a yard short.
Let's talk. Here's Eddie Foster again. He's having a good night up to now. He just runs down the field. He's going to run a little curl pattern. Comes back to the ball like he should. Don't wave your hands. Come back and get it. He does. He's running again on Wade Manning. Eddie Foster out of the University of Houston. He started all of 1977, but Howard, he was injured last year. Didn't play a bit.
All year. Very important for him is the preseason. One of those to whom it really matters. And off what he's showing tonight, he's in good shape.
2nd down, a yard to go. Big Earl got bombed there by Randy White. Did not get back. Well, he did get back to the line of scrimmage. How, I don't know.
That is one man that can play on the same field with Earl Campbell. He is a great football player. There he is, Randy White. They call him Manster here. Half man, half monster. He is quite a football player. Maybe the strongest man in the stadium.
Fran, he wandered around in this football team for a couple of years until they found a place to play him.
Played him at linebacker. Decided to put him into the line, and he's done all right.
Campbell, and he won't miss it twice on short yardage. Gets the first down close to the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 26.
You see him bolt through there?
But I think there was
complaint from Cliff Harris. Flag down.
Flag down now. Campbell slow getting up.
Significant that time that he didn't run over Randy White. He ran over the other side. All right, here's Campbell. He's going to go to his right, away from Randy White, which I think is a good decision. He gets to the line and he jumps, and he's got a pretty good help by Rob Carpenter there. He jumped over the defensive line. You're seeing all those low-number defensive backs trying to tackle.
I think an arm got in there and got Campbell's face mask. He's being marked off now. Either that or unnecessary roughness or something like that.
Unnecessary roughness.
That's it.
Number 42 defense. First down.
Randy Hughes pounding away on the helmet of Earl Campbell. Gets caught, and Houston has a first down at the 13-yard line.
There's no way to get back at a lamp that falls on you. Taking it out on Earl Campbell.
Campbell. Oh, what a cut. Oh, and Tom Henderson collided with Earl Campbell. Both of them a little slow getting up, but Henderson really popped him.
Watch Tom Henderson. He's going to be coming from your bottom part of your screen here. Here he comes. He's going to make the hit on Campbell, and he really hit him. That is a great tackle from Tom Henderson. Here's Campbell. Pitch out to the left. Rob Carpenter leading the play. Good block by Carpenter. Here comes Hollywood Henderson. Some kind of hit there.
4-yard pickup. Second down and 6. The ball inside the 10, close to the 8-yard line. Carpenter. Down he goes. Harvey Martin just tossed him back.
I'll tell you, Frank, Dallas is getting a little charged up with their defensive team right now. They're really playing hard football down there. Houston's been down twice before, couldn't get a touchdown, and they're having a struggle again, Howard.
Carpenter got a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
This time, my hunch is that they will get it.
Well, here he's got his options again. Most people would throw in this situation, but with Earl Campbell back there, maybe not. They've got 2 tight ends in.
Earl Campbell.
Flag is down. Flag down. Flag down.
I think that's going to be on the offensive football team.
Yep.
It's a tough block by the tight end over there to try to block the linebacker. We may have a holding on the offensive football team. I wouldn't be surprised if it was against the tight end that came in on the left side.
Now listen to this crowd. You can see how seriously they're taking this game. Many of them up on their feet cheering this penalty against Houston.
Rucker was in there along with Mike Barber. Rucker was in the area. Let's hear the call now. Ben Bright, the referee.
Offense, number 87.
Conrad Rucker holding. Took away a touchdown from Houston.
He was blocking on Tom Henderson. And Tom Henderson, sometimes with as much as he says, people forget what a football player he is.
He's a great player. He is a great athlete.
Yes, he is.
He can run. He does the 40 and 4.6. Now Burrows and White Shoes Johnson in there.
You've got the pass offense team in there. 1 setback, 3 wide receivers.
3rd down, 13. Gifford Nielsen had to get it away. Harvey Martin in there. And they're saying is Tom Henderson that Gifford Nielsen grounded the football to avoid the loss. No flags down, forget it.
Well, here comes Harvey again, and Morris Towns is having a difficult time with Harvey. He's going to blow right by him again. Sheer speed, no move, no strength, just speed. Gifford Nielsen never saw him. That's not intentionally grounding the ball.
No, his arm was going forward. There's no question.
And if I could, I'd like to point out that Gifford Nielsen was forced so deep that really wasn't Morris Towns. He was trying to form a pocket. The middle of the line forced him so deep that Harvey Martin with the speed was able to get around him. 33-yard attempt. Fritsch going for 3 for 3. Doesn't get it.
Now that's an important failure.
And again, they come up, this time with no points. And a thoroughly dominated game by Houston, but they only have 6 points. We'll be back.
Right. Night baseball here on ABC. Texas at Baltimore, Montreal at Cincinnati are the 2 games. Montreal 1-2 today. Pittsburgh is losing. Montreal could be within 2 games of the Bucks. Texas still with pennant dreams, though terribly slumping. Baltimore facing on-surging Boston in the pennant race, hoping to hang on. Here's Gift.
Cowboys trying to get back in it. Has been a game that's dominated by Houston, but they've only come away with 6 points. Staubach, 1st and 10 from his 20-yard line. Fires over the middle, and this time Mike Renfeld got in there with Drew Pearson. Incomplete. Dallas has 17 yards gained on the night. Houston 140.
But the point we've made is valid. They haven't capitalized.
Now, here's the play pass action. Roger really has got his back to the receiver before he throws the ball. Drew Pearson's coming across. Roger does not have a good vision on that play pass action. He didn't see the defensive back come up, and he almost had another interception. Important series for Dallas here. They've done absolutely nothing offensively. The defense has really charged up this stadium. Offense needs to help them out.
2nd and 10. Screen, Blackwell. First block. Missed, but Blackwell gets away from the tackle and gets out to the 23-yard line. A gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 7.
I'll tell you who did a job in shredding blockers then. Our young friend, number 67. As you look at Campbell, the rookie from Iowa State. Mike Stensrud, one to watch. Came in at 308. He's down in the 270s now. There you saw him, right in the middle.
All right, here we go. Houston's gone to their 4-man defensive line, 5 defensive backs. Dallas has got their specialty team in for the pass situation.
That means, of course, Preston Pearson. He's in the wing spot, number 26. Roger was trying to go to Pearson. Ball deflected away. 4th down. Dallas unable to get another first down.
That was one of the few times in a passing situation that Houston has blitzed along with the 4-man pass rush. And they just got it knocked down. There's Pastorini talking to Gifford Nielsen, giving him a little instruction. Talk to him, Dante. Tell him how it is.
Brazil was in there. Stringer was around. Stensrud was throwing blockers aside. They want to win this game, Houston. I'll tell you, they're playing like it.
Well, if Dallas's offense doesn't play any better than they've played, they're going to.
4 minutes remaining in the half. Dallas with 2 first downs. Dwayne Carroll will punt. A couple of weeks ago, he was working here in Dallas. Had been out of football for a full year. Danny White went down, broken thumb. Dwayne Carroll, who has traveled around a good deal, used to be with Dallas, 74. Got a new grip on life. This time off the side of his foot. Not a good kick, but it's going to take a Dallas bounce. And it'll be down at the 43-yard line. So Houston will have possession, 43-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:45 remaining in the first half.
Hi, Curly. There is your great nose guard. Your middle guard, Curly Culp. Top draft choice with Denver. And then he's talking with Coach Eddie Biles right now.
The defense.
And he was traded to that great Kansas City team. Culp and Buchanan, how they gave fits to a Minnesota team in the Super Bowl when Fran, fortunately, was not with Minnesota.
No, unfortunately, I was not.
1st and 10, Houston with a 6-0 lead. Mike Barber has the first down. He doesn't lose it. He doesn't.
What did we tell you?
To the 41-yard line.
What did we tell you about running tight ends? All right, so he only picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards, but they couldn't put him down.
Uh-oh. He's down, too, and he's got some pain in a bad spot there.
It's the knee he's holding, the left knee.
That would be a devastating blow to the Houston Oilers. Here we go. Gifford Nielsen's going to go back and pass on first down against that old flex. Mike Barber, nobody's going to be around him. He's all alone there. Now he's going to draw a crowd, as that ball will always do. As an arm tackle, Randy Hughes is trying to tackle him, runs over him. Bob Bruning finally gets him down with the help of Cliff Harris. Somewhere down there, he turned his knee.
Mike Barber, who had a knee problem at the end of last season, being administered to and will be returning to Texas Stadium in a moment. From the bench that he had cramps. If he had cramps, it must have been in the knee. Strange place to get them. Defensively for Dallas, Bruce Thornton is in there. The defensive line, number 91. Larry Bethea, number 76. Randy White stays in. Mike Calhoun, number 92. He's a rookie from Notre Dame. Defensive change for Dallas. 1st and 10. The ball at the 42-yard line of the Cowboys. This is Kenny King, a rookie from Oklahoma. He gets over the 40-yard line down to about the 38-yard line. Gain of a couple, it'll be second down and 8. Bruce Thornton made the stop. He's the rookie from Illinois, defensively for Dallas.
Thunder Thornton. They're going to be counting heavily on him because Larry Cole is up in years. They can't count too heavily on Larry, despite protestations to the contrary. Mr. Landry will be discussing his rookie crop with us at halftime.
Nielsen floods his backs to the right, looking for man-on-man. He gets it. Kenny Burrow wide open, and he throws it into the ground. He knows he should have completed that one, and Burrow had running room.
He really did. Interestingly enough, there, Wade Manning came up and bumped him one time and stayed in his zone. The linebacker was to pick him up coming over. Linebacker never picked him up, and he was wide open.
Passing offensive team for Houston comes in. That means Billy Johnson. Earl Campbell goes out.
You made the point, Howard, about Bruce Thornton. They really think he can be a great defensive end for them. They need him to be that with Too Tall out. 8th round draft choice out of Illinois. You can watch him here on the pass rush at the bottom of your screen.
Should call that one thrown away. 92, Mike Calhoun, the rookie from Notre Dame, in there. Nielsen could not get away, tried to dump the ball off.
All right, the guy that really caused that play. All right, let's watch it here. Calhoun's you're going to be seeing on the top part of your screen. Watch 54, Randy White, too. He beats John Schumacher. There's Morris Towns now trying to block the rookie Calhoun, knocks him on his back, and then goes after Nielsen and makes the play. That's a 10th round draft choice, Howard, out of Notre Dame, which brings up the point again.
We covered that so fully against Seattle in the Seattle game last week. Dallas again. The science of drafting only begins with the 4th round. As a player, how many times did you read in the papers, well, after the 3rd round, there are no great players left? How many times?
A lot. And there are 2 players in the defensive line there. Calhoun and Thornton won the 8th round pick this year and won the 10th round pick, and they both look like players and probably will make this team.
Penalty decline. Brings up 4th down. Parsley will punt. Deep is Wade Manning. Wade Manning standing at the 10-yard line. Dallas defense playing football. The offense is not. Into the end zone. Dallas will have a 1st and 10 on the touchback at their 20-yard line. 2:14 remaining in the first half. Gifford Nielsen, he didn't get called for throwing that away, but he really flipped it out there.
What's interesting in this game, Frank, is that even with Earl Campbell in, Houston has not been able to run on the flex defense. So quickly, preseason scores: Chicago beating Cincinnati, Washington ripping Atlanta, Tampa Bay beating New Orleans, San Diego leading the Giants at halftime.
All right, Dallas offense, we need Roger to do something here, and they need Roger to do something here to get this thing going.
Buffalo, Green Bay tied. Detroit destroying Cleveland 21-3. We'll get to the others in a second.
Just took too much time. That's another indication of a team that really hasn't got themselves pulled together.
The point I was making, Giff, though, is that Seattle, without an Earl Campbell, but with Smith and Sims, really tore apart that flex defense on the ground.
I'll correct myself. There was a false start. There was not too much time on the Dallas Cowboys. Number 72, Ernie Rogers.
Kansas City leading St. Louis 10-3 at halftime, and Minnesota just can't score. Poor Mike Lynn. Miami 14, Minnesota nothing at halftime.
1st and 15. Screen to Newhouse. He was touched when he was down, and that's going to be additional lost yardage inside the 10 now. And we're going to get the 2-minute warning. There it is, and you can see the look of frustration on Roger Staubach. He wonders where his weapons went. He's on the bench. Dorsett will be back. Remaining in the first half. Cowboys offense sputtering, coughing, doing very little. The defense has come to life. They were also having their problems in the first quarter. Houston has moved up and down the field. They came away, however, with only 2 field goals. Dallas, of course, still in this football game.
As I watch Tom Landry and Roger Staubach, I wonder if Tom thinks it's a problem with the play calling or the playing of Roger.
I don't know. To see Roger Staubach 4 out of 11 for a total of 9 yards is not what you would call typical.
It is not typical, and their offensive team is just playing terribly bad.
Capacity crowd here. Dallas was blacked out. They didn't sell out quickly enough. However, we must have 65,000. That's what the Texas Stadium holds. Beautiful place to watch a football game.
Great stadium, and it is an absolutely packed house.
Dangerous situation here. Roger does not want to throw the big interception down there just before the half ends. He's got about 22, 23 yards to go for a first down.
Second down, 20. This is Ron Springs, and Springs is upended. Good tackle, Greg Stemry.
And good smart play by the Cowboys there. They didn't try to get it all back in one play. They got some yards. Now in the position to get their first down.
Gain of 7. Third down, 13. Seconds ticking away. Screen, Springs. Out to the 23-yard line. It'll be third down and 7. Kennard made the stop defensively.
They're a physical football team, that Houston team, Francis.
Fourth down, rather.
Howard, I've seen a lot of football over the last number of years. This is as good a tackling football team as I can remember seeing. They don't miss tackles.
Houston calls timeout. They want to avoid Dallas running the clock down. They want to keep their 1 minute and 19 seconds on the clock. They have one timeout remaining. Let's take a look at Kennard. He's in there, plays the nose guard for Curly Culp.
And a pretty good nose guard this man is himself. Curly Culp, the starter. This is the backup. If you could have backups like this all over the league, you wouldn't have too many problems. Look at the pursuit he has on Rod Springs, a pretty fast guy. Look at the tackle. Good for him. He wrapped him up, and down he went. There's a
there he is.
Kennard.
If that phone rings, don't take it. It's Mike Lynn, the general manager of the Vikings. The Vikes have gone 2 games and a half, and they have not scored a touchdown yet. He may want Francis back.
You know, Howard, Lynn has not called yet. Isn't that? He hasn't given me the opportunity even to say no.
That'll tell you something.
I am embarrassed that he hasn't called at this point to give me that opportunity.
What were you going to say, Frank?
I said that'll tell you something.
Yes, it will. I should be here instead
Left
of
a lot
there.
of pals up there. Fourth down, 7. 1:19, as I told you, remaining in the first half. Houston wants to get their hands on the football. They only have one timeout remaining. Dwayne Carroll pops it. Makes a Dallas bounce, goes out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 37-yard line. So Houston leading 6-0. 2 Tony Fritsch field goals. One a 47-yarder. That's been the story as we battle for the state championship. Quite frankly, Tom Landry has expressed the feeling that he would like to play it pretty much like he'd play a regular season football game. He says it's that time of the year. They have one more exhibition game, as does Houston. Then they must open the season. And I'm sure he hopes they don't open it in this fashion against the Cardinals. Gifford Nielsen. Attempting a pass to Eddie Foster. Eddie Foster was covered there by number 22, Wade Manning. Gifford Nielsen put it in the turf.
Not a good pass by Gifford Nielsen. The last couple of throws he's made have not been good. He's thrown them down into the turf. He was just a little deliberate that time. Pretty good protection.
It's like they say in baseball. When you say it's just a little deliberate, you're really saying he was aiming. Never aim the ball.
That's what I need. I needed you to tell me that all those years.
I would have helped, I'll tell you, as I look back on many interceptions.
I had the wrong coaches.
Second down, 10. Cowboys threatening blitz. They step out of it. I think there might have been a change by Gifford Nielsen as he hands off to a rookie from Shepherd College. That's Wayne Wilson.
Well, I don't really understand that call, Frank. They got about a little less than a minute to go. They have a chance to move down the field, at least get field goal position, and they ran the ball.
I think he changed it, Fran, at the line of scrimmage when he saw a blitz.
Bad change.
Bad change. 3rd and 7. This is Wilson again. And Randy Hughes all over Wilson. He reins on him and he takes him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 4th down.
Well, the best news for the Cowboys thus far tonight is the play of Randy Hughes. Obviously, That lamp was low.
That lamp was low when he got those 13 stitches. Well, everybody here has always said Randy Hughes could play in the same league with Charlie Waters and Cliff Harris, and he shows tonight that he can. Nothing wrong with the Dallas Cowboy defense tonight. They played exceptionally well. However, Howard, I could not again understand 3rd and 7, 50 seconds left to go in the game on the 40-yard line. They ran the ball again. Obviously, they weren't going to try to put the ball up, but now they're giving Dallas a chance to come back and have a chance to get in position for a field goal. I don't think that was good.
4th down coming up. That's Randy Hughes. You know, they referred to him many times down here as their 3rd all-pro safety man. He's just the one that didn't start.
There's Robert Brazil, and that must be little Robert Wood, or is it? Or is that Billy White Shoes? There's Billy White Shoes, yes.
The long and the short of it.
That's a pair of players, I'll tell you that.
There's Randy.
Yep.
Parsley will do the punting on 4th down. Remind you, 22 seconds remaining in the half. And at halftime, kind of an interesting look at gentlemen I used to play with and for. And Rob Landry.
And they're going to try to block it. They got everybody up. Good strategy by Dallas here.
10 men on the line of scrimmage. They called timeout to conserve as many seconds as they could on the clock. And a beautiful punt by Parsley. He hangs it high and he hangs it long. Taken there by Wade Manning at the 11-yard line. Manning dodging bullets out to the 17-yard line. 9 seconds remaining in the half.
It's not a lot, is it? But Roger's been through that too. He remembers a Staubach Hail Mary pass to a fella named Pearson, and suddenly Francis was out of the playoffs.
The year was 1975. It was the biggest shock of my life when Drew Pearson caught the ball when we looked like had the game won. What a play. We'll never forget it in Minnesota, and I'm sure they won't here in Dallas.
Should be a very interesting second half. Really should. Well, I can't believe that they're going to continue to sputter offensively as they have, the Dallas Cowboys, I mean.
I agree with you.
Well, both defenses have taken over the game right now. Neither offense have been able to do much the last few times out. Dallas not even the entire evening.
9 seconds. Complete. Drew Pearson.
The best play of the night for the Dallas offense is going to go for naught because the half has expired.
They could not stop the clock in time. That is the end of the first half. And a first half that was thoroughly dominated by the Houston Oilers. However, they only came away with 2 field goals. Stay with us. Dallas Cowboys unable to generate any effective offense whatsoever. They've moved the ball for a total of 47 yards. No points on the scoreboard. Keep in mind, we reminded you in Seattle, Dallas is a football team that in the last 5 exhibition games, they only had 1 winning season.